No, I want to.
Welcome to the
Yes.
Point Three podcast. We are here on our before the podcast episode talking about a Spider-Verse history on our actual podcast. But tonight we're going to talk about some news and just be open, be candid, how it goes before the show, get our voices ready, chat with some viewers. So what type of news we got this week?
No, let's like give me your guys pre Across the Spider Verse hype level.
Oh,
Oh, dude! After watching all of the stuff, after researching this week's episode, I'm at a 15 out of 10 for excitement. I'm ready because especially some of these were a little difficult to get through. I won't lie.
Oh my Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ooh.
I put my phone down and walked away and just got my AirPods in. I was like, I'm just gonna listen to it, and then Spider Knight or whoever it was that episode. And I think
It
part
was
3.
it was the rough one was the Petra Parker
The
when they're
Spider
in the
Girl.
dimension, when they're in the dimension where they're all just women, and then the Noir. They managed to take Spider-Man Noir and make him really uncool, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is rough, especially for 2015.
Yeah, I felt that way.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it was
excited.
it was the thing I left last. But that made me more excited about Across the Spider-Verse. And it actually made me appreciate Into the Spider-Verse a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't want to give too much away. If anyone's watching this, go check out the podcast.
Yeah.
My most anticipated episode that we've probably ever talked about doing. And I'm very, very excited. I'm really glad that we did everything that we did in preparation for this a day before the movie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
it's perfect.
It couldn't have
It
been
was
better.
very, very fitting.
The timing for all of you guys should have been, we were talking to the viewers, you guys should have been there for this brainstorming session because the juices started flowing and we're excited for this episode just because it's so much fun. I don't know, I didn't know about the Ultimate Spider-Man Spider-Verse stuff. I remember watching this show when it aired.
Yeah.
I don't remember that episode though. And then I didn't get to watch it, and I chose to not watch it. But there's like a sequel to the Spider-Verse in the series.
There is. It's in I think season 4. When I was looking through the episodes, I saw it was like Spider-Verse Part 2, and I was like, oh shit.
That was not my reaction.
No. I mean, I might go back and watch it just for more Spider-Verse multiverse comparisons, just to see what people wanted. I don't know. It was the bottom of my list. When we go through the list of all the things and we break it down, but it was still pretty good though, given what it was. In comparison, if nothing else existed, I'd be like, wow, I probably would say that was a great idea. Good for you guys.
If I watched this back in 2015 when I was 16, then I probably would have thought, wow, this was amazing. I genuinely would have thought this was the best thing ever. But kind of like you said, with the point of view that we have now, man, it was rough.
Yeah, and what are we still going through exploring the multiverse and the Spider-Verse, the rosters of characters, the looks of the projects, and then does it stand the test of time? That's going to be one for me that I can teeter.
Yeah,
if we go down that route. But do we have any news? Anything exciting this week? Marvel, DC world, superheroes.
There is a live action.
Did you guys see Little Mermaid's box office?
That was
Oh.
surprising. I'm shocked that
I-
it made that much. What
I
was
bring-
it, like 120?
I saw it was like 121, and then
It
I
made
heard today it was
120.
higher than that.
That's crazy.
Oh, it debuted at 117 million domestic. Wow.
That's still a lot.
Well,
For
Honestly, I didn't even know the movie was coming out.
bro, you've
I
been
kinda
living under
just,
a
like,
rock
It kind of just like came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
with all the
Is-
controversy surrounding this movie. It was kind of in my face.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't escape YouTube without seeing an ad for it.
oh, I
Also
got
true.
YouTube Premium.
Yeah, boo.
I'm not paying premium.
Actually,
Boo, boo, boo.
you guys up on my. I have the family plan,
Do you have
and a
YouTube
funny
TV?
reason why we have a funny reason why we have the family plan for premium. My parents do a lot of karaokeing, and
nice.
they got tired of hearing the ads in between
Me-
like each song
I
on like
respect
the big
that.
ass speaker. So they're like, "Screw these ads. We're gonna get YouTube Premium." And I'm like, "Hey, better make sure there's enough room for my profile under there." And I think they give you like 5 spots. So
That's
chat
not bad.
later off stream
We'll chat. That's not bad
Might be
because I mean,
on there.
it could be Netflix, and
Yeah. No, like it's like dedicated. Like you could just set like people's Google's account as part of like the premium.
nice
It's nothing like
Nice.
Netflix where they're gonna charge $9 just for
per
just
household.
to give someone a password. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no, Little Mermaid surprising, very surprising.
Little Mermaid getting 112 or what did I say 117?
I want to plug our most recent Instagram poll that we put up there.
Who's winning that? Who's winning it right now?
I
Check the
have
audience poll. You have
I
3 personal accounts. You have voted for
Wait, whoa.
yourself.
That's fair.
one of the votes for me should not count because I voted on what did I vote on?
Air quotes. Let me see. Yeah, voted. Oh,
You
it was an
voted, right?
accident.
No,
My-
I think I'm
my
pretty
finger
sure
slipped and went to the Point 3 podcast.
I'm pretty sure I voted on it on my personal account when I wasn't supposed to vote on it on my personal.
You did because I saw your name on there twice.
Yeah, I definitely did that.
I saw
I'm
his
gonna
name on there and I
go.
was like,
There's a way to remove it.
Nah, it's all right. It's not a big deal.
No, it's fine. Because in the end, we know it's gonna be. I hope it's not 70 million. After seeing the Little Mermaid numbers, well,
It's
My cousin roasted me.
I looked it up and the budget's 100 million. So if it
making
makes
profit.
70 on its first, which is kind of its only weekend where it can really shine, ooh. But I'm not too worried. I think it'll break 90.
I don't know, man. There's still a lot of people who either don't know this movie's coming out or they have not planned to see it. Still,
But then to the point of the Little Mermaid, I knew it was coming out. I forgot, but it put up monster numbers. So if Little Mermaid can do it, I mean, couldn't Spider-Man?
I think that would be a second weekend. I have a feeling that people like the jury is out. It's probably not the right thing to say. Almost like Guardians, though, because it's more mature of a movie. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's animated, and of course, people are still gonna go.
But then next week is Transformers. So is it really going to overtake Transformers?
I think Transformers is probably gonna be $1 billion movie.
I doubt it.
Look, okay, someone look up Transformers movies.
Okay.
The last one that crossed $1 billion. That whatever junk box movie it was I'll throw it in the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park bucket too. There's still $1 billion movies people want to see.
The last one to reach was Dark of the Moon, which is number 3 at 1.124 billion.
I see
Those-
Age of Extinction had it too. Worldwide, 1.104.
Did
No,
it?
y'all.
Well, I mean, the last
It was
night,
only
605 mil.
That was the most recent one.
That was the last like official Transformers one. 'Cause then the last one was Bumblebee.
that movie was pretty good.
Bumblebee was really good.
Bumblebee was awesome.
Bumblebee came in at 468 mil,
Wow.
so significantly lower.
That came out the weekend before. Wow, this is a repeat. There's a lot of repeats from 2018 that I'm noticing. Getting a new Transformers movie a week before / after a Spider-Verse movie. Getting a Spider-Man video game the same year as a Spider-Man animated movie with Spider-Man 2 and Across the Spider-Verse.
Good point.
And now Transformers coming out, Rise of the Beast coming out the week after Across the Spider-Verse. The world is a simulation confirmed.
June Apocalypse. It's June Apocalypse, and it starts tomorrow.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, speaking of just June Apocalypse and starting off with that character so conveniently placed in the corner, the big news of a Miles Morales live action movie.
Go beyond.
From Amy, what's her name? The Sony lady?
Pascal.
Amy Pascal, yeah. And talking about Across, and she was like, yeah, there's plans for a live action Miles.
I'm gonna sell that. I'm not buying that. Selling it.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I feel like
You think
Sony will
they'll
say
sell it?
anything. I think they'll say anything right now. Personally,
That's fair.
They'll say it, but I don't know. It's weird to me that they would just drop it like that the day before the other Miles movie comes out. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited if it's true, but it comes at an odd time. Like, why now? Why do you announce that now?
plant the seeds. That's it. Just planting the seeds, seeing how much hype that's going to generate. If your guys' theories come true, I mean, then yeah.
I'll eat my hand if it goes live action.
I don't know.
Dude,
I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm banking on it just because of my theory from last video or episode.
Okay. So I was listening to our podcast back again as I was driving home this afternoon. And I heard the part where you're talking about the international, and I watched a YouTube video, not on YouTube Premium, so half of my car ride was an ad. And I think I was watching Screen Rant, and it was the breakdown of trailer number 2. And they were talking about Andrew, and they played the international clips with all the 3 of them. And part of me is thinking they recycle a lot of things that generate hype, and part of me feels like that we're not actually going to get any of them because they own the rights to so many pieces. Like, they can play whatever they want, whenever they want, and associate it with any project. And I just think it's interesting that they didn't hype that up as much domestically, but internationally, because it's all over Asia, right? There's no limitations on this movie. It's going to be released in every country,
so,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
I mean, I think
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And then you add their weird, the weird thing that came out. What was it, yesterday or the day before? That was all of the live action Spider-Man that they were highlighting, and then how Sony was highlighting all 9 Spider-Man movies, including the Marvel series or the Homecoming.
Because we going beyond, baby.
I hope. I really do. I just think that they're using this to generate more buzz.
Oh yeah, they're pulling a Morbius 2.0.
It's a
Most likely pulling a Morbius 2.0 with all these other live action Spidey references. And when none of it happens, they're going to be eating their hand from bullshitting us like that. Again.
That's what they do. Again, exactly.
I was going to say, I feel like this is...
I didn't say that. We love you so.
Edits. No edits.
No edits.
No edits. We're live. No, I was going to say, though,
Please
it feels
sponsor us
like
still.
that's a... Please, we'll go watch the movie. It just feels weird, though, because why do that and then not give it? It just doesn't make sense, because even why plant those seeds in a movie that doesn't necessarily need it, you know? Because I don't think this is a movie that necessarily needs a live action aspect or even a cameo from Tom or Andrew or anybody. It just doesn't need it. It can stand on its own 2 feet. So why market it this way?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
They have to pull everything together, though. With all this, maybe we can pull the news part back in. I don't remember what it was, but the announcement of the new girl in the
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
As
Jessica Carpenter.
Like, they're building
Spider-Woman.
it out. They're building it out. And why have all these characters if you're not going to weave them together for a once in a lifetime opportunity?
But like
the weave terminology there too. That I'm picking up.
But again, you can do that with Madam Web, right? And then a live action Miles movie, sure, but it just seems weird to do it before this movie even officially comes out. You know, before the general audience has seen it. Why tease? Hey, there's a possible live action aspect. No, because then if it doesn't happen, we're not going to care about Madam Web either way. Because even if Toby, Tom, or even if Madam Web comes out, are you still going to care about the movie? I'm not, because Madam Web's not really a character that I think can carry her own movie. And obviously not, because they're bolstering it with other Spider-Women.
Cool concept, but I think it's a little unnecessary. And given the climate, especially if you're an MCU fan watching this, and the whole MCU thing and pushing an agenda and woke this and woke that and blah, 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 blah. I think they have an uphill battle with that movie regardless. But I will say, watching the animated Spider-Man 2-parter, Madam Web came in clutch.
She does.
And there's a lot of cool things that they can do with a character like that. I just... If you were to market that movie and say it's going to tie into something somewhere, just enjoy the ride and watch what we do. That's it.
That's what they missed with Morbius. That's what Morbius should have freaking been. Was a nice tie-in. They advertised it with all the different like Tom, Toby, Andrew references from their universes throughout the trailer, and then just pulled it all from the movie. Gonna go into the first glimpse of Brando's Sony keys to Sony just for a minute. So if I had the keys to Sony after the success of No Way Home, I would have made Morbius a million times better, first of all. But second of all, it would have had a reveal of what universe that what I guess live action Spider-Man would have been in that universe, with no references to it, or not references, but no like visual confirmation of, say, Andrew, Toby, or whatever they would have went. But there would have been something that you could tell that there was like I'm eating my hand right now because I just realized Vulture did bring up Spider-Man. there would have been more of a reference than Vulture's reference that he did at the post-credit scene. It would have made Vulture a key component in that story to try to get him home, because how the hell did he even get there in the first place? And it would have set up the connection that Across the Spider-Verse is about to bring, with introducing live action and just the whole Spider-Verse concept of going from verse to verse, multiverse stuff. And then you connect that with the Madam Web movie, and then you connect the Craven movie to the Morbius movie of him wanting to hunt Spider-Man. And then El Muerto doesn't count. That movie's not even getting green light by me. He could show up in any of these other movies, cool, but like
Apparently
no
not by
point.
Sony either anymore.
Yeah, dude, no point. I don't know how that movie even got green light when he was in 2 comic appearances. There's so many other villains they could have done.
Yeah.
And so then you connect Across the Spider-Verse into Madam Web, and then Beyond the Spider-Verse, where it goes fully live action. And this is awkward timing, but you then take the Morbius build-up, the Craven build-up, the Madam Web build-up, being able to access different parts of the Spider-Verse, and then you throw a couple other villains in there, and you have a Sinister Six versus Spider-Man. Oh, Venom too. It didn't even... Brain's moving so fast right now, I didn't even think about Venom. Then you incorporate Venom 3. And it's not just Venom 3. It's Venom and Sinister Six versus Spider-Man as the grand finale to the Sony Spider-Verse. And boom. Very rushed, very not into detail. Those are the keys that I would do. Those were what I would do if I had the keys to Sony.
And I would be very happy with that. 100% in my opinion. It's just such a missed opportunity. And after doing everything that we did in preparation for this podcast, I don't want to spoil too much. So go listen to the podcast. But there are a few projects and storylines that did this better than others. And it was stepping away from the main storyline to have your, let's just call it side quests. Have your side movies. Can you imagine having a version of Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man, not necessarily the Amazing Spider-Man, but bring him back and have him play something else. Let it be interesting.
Ben Reilly even.
Something along those lines. Even Toby, he can come back and play someone who's older and then pick him off as a Sinister Six kill or something like that. I don't know. They don't have to bring back the exact ones. But to your point, Spider-Brando, you easily could have your own little 5-year plan.
Yes.
And in that 5th year, you have your penultimate movie, pull Venom in, have your Sinister Six characters, and then you can just keep diving deeper. And we don't have to go back and restart. Here's an origin. Here's Vulture for the 15th time. Here's Green Goblin for the 15th time. Like, move on from those characters and then bring them back in if you do a bigger multiverse. I don't know how they're a gajillion-dollar company.
Just think of how another standpoint that I always had when I was crafting my theories is, at the time, I was very adamant into theorizing about this. If I had the keys, there's a lot of talks about Tom Holland wanting a break from Spider-Man, and he's getting his break in between No Way Home and whenever Spider-Man 4 comes out. But if they had set it up in these downtime couple of years, they could have had billion-dollar Spider-Man movies just by connecting them. If obviously big ifs, Toby and Andrew were willing to come back, Sony could eat with Amazing Spider-Man 3, or just a villain versus Spider-Man movie, even if he's in it just for a couple minutes. But they marketed that he's in it. And then boom, like Sony's making their own money from using their own IP. And then when Tom's ready to come back, it has nothing to do with Tom, and they're making even more money. So it's like, how could they just not? I don't know if COVID had anything to do with any of their plans getting with release
bro,
dates
they didn't have a
moving around
plan.
and
They're
everything.
gonna.
but,
You're
like,
giving
they don't
them
even
an
have plans.
excuse.
They don't even have plans in general.
I was gonna say because I think COVID is when they announced all these weird movies, and I think the only one that suffered
That's true.
during COVID was Morbius. I think that was the only one because I think they had to
that
do
one
certain
definitely
reshoots and
suffered
stuff.
a lot.
But other than that, no, they didn't have any plan. The issue that these companies face is that they all want to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? That's the issue. And we saw it with the DCU, why that crashed and burned. And we see it with Sony and why it's really
Still in flames.
and they're trying to put it out, right? Because they tried with Venom and it didn't really work the way that they wanted it to. But also at the same time, it's look how you're writing these movies and characters, right? Where you change fundamentally what Venom is from the beginning, or who Venom is from the beginning as a character. And then you change who Morbius is, and you change who Craven is, if those leaks are true. You give us a movie and a character that no one cares about, not even comic book people, because at least with Morbius and Craven, there'll be a pocket of people that care enough to go watch it. But an El Muerto movie, nobody cares. Literally nobody, right?
It's been in 2 issues. Like
2 issues. And nobody cared, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that instead of trying to be the MCU, be your own thing and it will work. You know, I think James Gunn kind of is going along that line. You know, even though I still think that it's too experimental, and I hope I'm proven wrong, but clearly he's doing his own thing. Still building something with it though, and Sony needs to do the same instead of trying to. We want to build it, but around the villains, but also changing what these villains are. It just doesn't make sense.
I always think 2 things to what you guys are saying. One callback to what Spider-Man had mentioned about Tom wanting to take time off. I look at The Mandalorian in season 3. How much helmet time off? I understand the whole Mandalorian lore, but bro, this guy's voice acting the whole time and someone else is walking around in those boots for the entire season for the most part. No spoilers or anything, but he's big enough now where he can be doing whatever he wants, multiple projects, and it's like, send me whatever I need, let me say it however I need to say it, and call it a day. Spend more time in costume as Spider-Man. That's my answer for a lot of those things. But the other piece of that, I kind of lost the train of my thought. Yeah. What was the last thing you said?
How they should build their own thing and not try to be the MCU.
Oh yeah, with James Gunn, the room of people that he's building have a proven track record with some live action, but he's also bringing in source material, the people who are on these projects, who wrote these comics, who wrote these characters and storylines. That's the stuff that I want to hear from a studio who's like, hey, we're putting things together for you guys as the fans, giving you what you've wanted and kind of bringing that to life through our interpretation versus do you like Tom Hardy as Venom? Because Venom likes to eat people. Oh, yeah. Here's Woody Harrelson. Oh, psych. We changed him. Oh, just kidding. Is he alive? Is he? It's messy. It's muddy. It's messy. But that's why you listen to the Point 3 podcast, baby. We sorted it out for you.
Yeah, little by little. But even Sony might be unsortable. As hard as we try and as hard as we want, Sony's just a tangled web.
Ooh.
Wow. That was good.
Sick transition. I went through this whole hexagon thing earlier, by the way, of how webs are hexagons and the foundation of the multiverse and all that kind of stuff and travel. And
Did you watch a YouTube video on that?
I did.
I think I watched the same one.
That's not my original thought, but it sounded really good.
It did.
Yeah,
It did.
I don't know.
I loved that video.
Well, folks, it's time to jump over to our other platform to record episode 4, season 1. Did we title this yet?
No. Not clever enough, at least.
I thought it was history of the Spider-Verse.
I do like that.
that. I do like it, but I don't know if it'll be what sticks.
Yo, some of my ideas were just like
Sticks. And
God.
we're on it tonight.
We're on it.
I like it. All right. Well, you can listen to the podcast episode on any platform, major platform, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you feel comfortable. Check it out. We are going to have this episode up quickly. So follow on our podcast platforms so you can be notified when a new episode drops. And we will see you guys not next Wednesday, but next Monday.
yeah.
Monday, 8:30, we will be doing a breakdown for Across the Spider-Verse. Thoughts, reactions, reviews, all the good stuff. We'll catch you in the next one.